yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm here and we back. Just give me a second, please and thank you. In the meantime, calling all warriors to the chat if you're not already in the chat. If you are in the chat, can we get some purple hearts? We get some bells. Shower the chat with love and good vibes. I guess the octopus will work too.
The way you're so patient, I'm going places, can't take it. My heart is so cold, my energy is contagious. All the pain, I can't take it. I'm staying grounded and grateful, cause I know everything that I've been through only made me. Yeah, my blessings daily, yeah, they've been nice and shady, but I don't take it personal, the memories faded. I'm enjoying the moment, I've been smiling the roses, taking time to reflect, stepping back, but you unfolding, I'm focusing low. I'm at the flow, I've been in the booth, speaking to my soul. You know that I'm true, you let it go. Either way it goes, I cannot turn close. I've been so. If your intentions are not pure, I can't let you get too close, cause I'm vibrating high. Ain't got time for your ego, these niggas quick to turn me back. Acting like the amigos, you never cared in the show, cause I'm with you at your low, assuming that you wanna go. But baby, I've been growing ever since I let you go, and I've been doing better, and I know that hurts to know. Only good vibes around me, and that's for sure. Good vibes. Only need good vibes. Only need good vibes. And I need good vibes. You see me searching for my enemies, I've been learning.
Yes, it's definitely good vibes over here. Let's get this thing started.
But I had to heal.
Ready?
Let's go.
God is dawn. Like and subscribe. Comment some night. Loving this light. Here's God is dawn. God is dawn. God is dawn.
Peace, world, peace. Welcome back to Goddess Dawn Speaks. I am Goddess Dawn, live on this beautiful Tuesday, September 6th, right? Happy and blessed to be with you this afternoon. Let me see who's here before I dive in. I'll be getting carried away. Thank you for the hearts. Yes, I feel the energy. Love it. Thank you for the bells. Wow, Wayne. All right, let's see who's here. Wow, Wayne, of course, holding it down. Warrior King right there. No. Yes to no. That's my sis, Chrissy Power. Yes. Thank you for being back, Queen. Who else we got? Shamina Wright is here. Yes, Shamina Juti. Yes, in the Queen's Court today. Hazel E. Yes, sis. Good to see you. What's going on, King? Andrew Staples is here. Jasundra is here too. We need to give her some energy. Get your vibe up. Nisi Fan 1. Yes, Chi-Town in the house. I heard that. Yes, Lisa girl, welcome back. Joelle Jackson. Yes, thank you for the bells, love. Good to see you. Beautiful spirit. Love and positive energy. Yes. Tabitha Lester, welcome back. Miss Stella, the Queen. I think that might cover it. I see you, Aisha. Welcome back, love. Okay, I think we covered. Anybody watching in the bushes? Love and light. Yep, welcome all new subscribers, new members also. But yeah, I'm just popping in for a minute, y'all, to kind of piggyback off of yesterday's live. Now that Jim's motion is filed, we can talk about it. I couldn't even talk about it because it hadn't been filed. And like I said, your girl ain't trying to end up in one. I'm not trying to get mixed up and cross lines and boundaries. No, thank you. But yeah, since the court is mysteriously closed today, citing operational issues, you must wait a whole nother day to get some answers. We may not even get any if Jim does take the stand. Who really knows? It all seems so off base to me. Jim being subpoenaed. I mean, for what? The tapes have been authenticated well enough for the court to proceed with them. And discovery, yeah. And the judge denied motions from the defense in efforts to block the tapes, or the tape number one, I think, video one. And that was, unsuccessful. There's the communications with AUSA Kroll, which were proven to be baseless. So, with regard to the motion, I'm going to read an article. It touches a lot of bases. I have the motion here too. I'll be inserting items from the motion as well, which I'll read in detail on the member channel. Yeah, you got to join me in the Goddess Lounge for that and so much more. Okay, we're reading transcripts back there, all that. So let's see. Oh, Miss Della is here. Miss Della.
Hello. I'm
Hello,
interested
hello.
in Mr. Jim.
Yes. So yeah, I'm gonna read this article I have here and also have the motion up. There's some interesting things in this motion. I'm gonna say I would definitely have your listening ears on. You don't want to miss the details. Well, at least, the ones I'm going to talk about right now. Okay, I think I have the article on my phone. Phone which has died. Give me a sec. Let me just pull it up here. What's going on, Miss Della? How's your day going so far, love?
It's going fine. Hold on. I just spilled something.
I'm looking up this article. My phone is charging up. I had it all ready to go on my phone.
Okay, madam. I'll get the rest of that up after the live is done. I went to set my cup in the cup holder, and guess what? It missed and spilled all over the carpet with ginger ale.
Oh no.
And Star was on it.
You good? You know what? Did you ever find that? Remember we were looking for that one video where Jim was going back and forth with at the press conference?
You made the one he said, "I don't give a fuck." I have to find it. I'll find it.
Okay.
I'll look for it after the live. Shouldn't be hard to find.
No worries, no worries. I just didn't know if I had missed it. You know how you email me.
I know. I just remember looking at it a while ago.
Okay. All right. So let's see. I'm going to start with the actual motion. And it's an emergency motion to quash subpoena to reporter and or for protective order. And it's regarding non-party journalist Jim Derogatis. So he's not on either side. He's doing this for his own independent self. The New Yorker magazine is the entity that filed on his behalf, his media lawyer. And they are basically laying out grounds as to why Jim should not testify. He should not be called to testify. Let's, quash, as they call it, this subpoena. Subpoena was actually by Jim Derogatis, McDavid's attorney. So let's see. They're saying he is instead a reporter. He's not a party or a government witness, but a reporter, music critic, author, and associate professor at Columbia College, Chicago. As a journalist, he has reported extensively on defendants from the beginnings of defendant Robert Kelly's career and throughout the present trial for news organizations including Chicago Sun-Times and the New Yorker magazine. In 2019, Derogatis authored the book Soulless, The Case Against R. Kelly. They go on about his, they of course toot their own horn, talking about how their own publication has all these awards and accolades. So I guess they want to basically press upon the fact that they are an established, legitimate, and well-recognized publication. So they said on August 3rd, 2022, defendant McDavid served Derogatis with the subpoena for trial testimony in this case. The subpoena did not include a check for witness fees, but Derogatis was nonetheless instructed to appear September 6th, today, but we know that court is closed today. But it says because the subpoena is unduly burdensome, unreasonable, and oppressive under Rule 17C and the First Amendment, movements currently request an order to quash the subpoena or a protective order. So the protective order is where it gets real interesting. I'm gonna actually might skip down to that. They give us some case law about the court being alert to possibilities of limiting impingements upon press freedom. So freedom of the press, fighting for his First Amendment rights, and as an individual and as a journalist. So they do throw in some case law for that. And they're saying he's not even relevant to the indictment in this case. And if there is any information, the information they're requesting, they say that would derive from third-party source, which would be hearsay. So they're like, he's not really, if he is relevant, he's not really useful. They already have direct testimony for the tape, which they do also lay out in this motion. But before I get to that, they say that Mr. Derogatis' role has been as an investigative reporter. Compelled testimony also is invasive, they're saying, as to his news gathering methods and cumulative of the actual sources and their source materials. So they're saying that movements, for example, understand that the court already denied defendant McDavid's motion to put his news gathering on trial with respect to alleged emails with potential official sources. And they're saying that it's also understood that during the case in chief, Chicago Police Department Detective Dan Everett, who we remember testified on the stand for prosecution, he authenticated the only physical source material plausibly at issue, which is a VHS cassette personally handed to the detective by a Chicago Sun-Times editor. Let's see. There's a footnote, and it's talking about claims constitutional rights. I just want to make sure I don't miss the footnotes, because some of these footnotes be having some real tea. Okay, so the motion goes on. It's a 10-page motion. I'm already on page 4, but let me just zip through. They're saying that so now listen up to this part. Okay. What's happening? I'm looking in the chat. Please be respectful. I hope everybody is being respectful, because we are respectful. We's classy over here, okay? Thank you, Chrissy. Okay, let me get on. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that this may backfire on them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this don't make out this. I'm this maybe not even saying in shock. I just you would believe that he would be there for the prosecution, now, not for the defense. And then, of course, I'm pretty sure me and probably thousand others wants to know why would he even be in conversation with McDavid.
Well, let's get to that. I haven't even brought that up. So the cart is jumping the horse. So that's what I'm saying. Listen up, y'all, because this right here does involve McDavid. And another reason, so they're saying for this motion that they want to either quash the subpoena or put in a protective order. And I think that's where this comes in. Now, number 7 on this motion, the only pertinent exception to FRE 802, therefore, would be declarations against interest made by defendant McDavid to Derogatis during the course of Derogatis' reporting, including for the New Yorker. Okay, are we listening? The only pertinent exception would be declarations against interest made by defendant McDavid to Derogatis. So McDavid's been talking to Derogatis, says during the course of Derogatis' reporting, which means it's been throughout the years, sounds like there's been conversations. Defendant McDavid, however, has represented that he will testify. Remember that now. He's going to get on the stand in his own defense and therefore may relate all of his on or off the record statements to Derogatis, leaving Derogatis in the potential position of impeaching his source or risking subsequent claims he breached confidentiality. I don't know why I can't talk all of a sudden. Confidentiality. Whether on direct examination or cross examination by USA or McDavid's co-defendants, because they all have to get a shot at Derogatis, not just McDavid's attorney, but the co-defendants. They're all on the same ticket. So anybody that gets up there, they got 3 bullets coming at them. Now it goes on to say, it says in parentheses, I don't know, it says Garcia, who herself is subject to the interview, has failed to make even a preliminary showing as to the nature of the statements contained in the outtakes. The statements contained in the outtakes. Okay. I don't know what that's referring to, but it reminds me of the fact of something I'll read. I'm going to read this in an article. Now, the footnote for this says, if required to testify, Derogatis requests that the court make a finding that the subpoena constitutes a waiver by defendant McDavid of any agreement to keep confidential statements made by McDavid to Derogatis, even if admissible under FRE 804 B3. So basically, that just really says there's been a lot of stuff that's been on or off the record that they don't want to come to light. So my thing is, this is okay. So let me keep it straight. So this is Derogatis' motion. So with this though said, seemed to me McDavid would know that they have stuff that could come out. So is this something that is in his plan when he gets on the stand? Is he going to bring Derogatis into this even further? Like, what is the purpose of them bringing Derogatis to the stand when he has so much that could bury them? I feel, especially if he has off the record or on the record statements from McDavid. That is insane. And what was McDavid telling Derogatis? What else are they saying? There's a couple more points here. Okay, it says the absence of a legitimate evidentiary need for testimony alone indicates harassment or intimidation. So he's claiming harassment and intimidation in the absence of a legitimate evidentiary need for testimony. So they're saying there's no need for this testimony. So this is harassment or intimidation. They do put up some case law here, or I don't know if this is case law, but they cite something. Intimidation by subpoena or individuals unrelated but sympathetic to defendants is of particular concern when coupled with prior acts and statements of a threatening nature that augment the undue burden of being compelled to appear to answer irrelevant questions about inadmissible news gathering activities. So, prior acts and statements of a threatening nature. So, there's a footnote. It says published reports include that a window of the Derogatis family home was shot out after Chicago Sun-Times reported on defendant Kelly and threats concerning Derogatis and his then 6-year-old daughter. Y'all hear this? Did you guys ever hear of this before? This is the first time I think I've heard, unless I don't know if it was in the book.
First time for me too. And guess what, Missy?
What?
I found the video.
Oh, email it to me.
I already emailed it to you and I gave you the little point. 8 minutes and 48 seconds into a Jim show. Jim tore his ass apart.
You said 8 minutes?
I said go to 8 minutes. Eight
Oh, okay.
minutes and 48 seconds is where he starts at.
Okay. Let me see. So that's like serious right there. His window of his family home was shot out. Yes, at the time his 6-year-old daughter was there. I mean, threats, I don't know about that, but they said threats were made against him and his then 6-year-old daughter. So there have been threats and violence from the beginning, obviously, and also against people who hadn't really been speaking out about it. I don't know if it was in the book. I don't remember. My memory on stuff is like, I really need to reread it, to be honest.
Well, it's a lot. It's hard to remember. Everything is just so much. So it reminds me. Sorry, have to go back to political, of a Trump supporter. Soon as you don't like something or you're not happy with a decision, the first thing you think about is violence. That's it. Violence. We got to make this right. So you're gonna go after him for nothing. Go after the person who did it.
Exactly.
And they did 30 years.
So the article I was going to read, it actually, I read the dang motion. That was pretty much the end of the motion. So I really don't need to read the article, but it does have some stuff. Let me just see what it says. Attorneys for longtime music critic Jim DeRogatis filed a motion Tuesday seeking to quash a defense subpoena. Okay, we know that. It was filed by him and his current employer, the New Yorker. And they're saying by subpoenaing him, a longtime journalist, to testify, they're trying to out his news gathering on trial. So yeah, the big deal was made in the motion about the fact that Jim's sources could be at risk if he is to testify. So yeah. So hold on one second. So this thing goes wider than Jim. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a big deal in journalism. It's like code of ethics. You don't give up your sources. And that's why there's a whole amendment. He took the fifth on the stand in the 2008 trial, but that was a state trial. So I think the fact that this is a federal trial, that circumvents the Fifth Amendment that he would normally have used. So let me, Kim wants to come up for a minute, she said. I think she said she knows about something about the threats. Give me 1 second. Oh, he mentioned it, hey? Yeah, I don't remember, but when I read that, I was like, wow. Maybe it was the way it was written with his daughter being there at the time. Okay, the link has been dropped. Yeah, I don't think he went into detail. Okay, beautiful spirit. He spoke about it on a news outlet. Okay. Oh, you said never mind? Okay. Oh, it's in the book. Got it. Yeah, I figured it would be unless it was something that he really just didn't want to divulge. But if he was a truthful person, which he is, he would have put it in the book, which he did. What's going on, beautiful spirit?
Hey, I just wanted to jump on real quick. How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Okay. I remember Jim talked about it a little bit after R. Kelly was arrested by the Feds on one of the news outlets that McDavid had threatened. I think it was McDavid, or if he ended up finding out it was McDavid. Not only he mentioned in his book about how McDavid said that he knew where his 6-year-old, at the time she was 6, his daughter had mentioned about to say that to know that he wasn't playing games. That he mentioned about his daughter being spending the day having ice cream with the grandmother, and he had mentioned to Jim Derogatis, like basically like he had eyes and location on where the daughter was at, and it kind of he had to report that to the authorities. And McDavid has said the same thing to Jim, like he said to everybody else. We should have murked you long time ago. You know,
Mm,
I hope that McDavid is all going to backfire on him. He's so cocky and arrogant and narcissistic, and he
yeah.
thinking that he's so sure of himself. He's so focused on the BS that this is going to backfire on him. It's going to backfire on Stem Cell, and if anything, it's going to make it worse for R. Kelly and the rest of them. And he need to leave Mr. Jim Derogatis alone. Because I hope while he talking about he gonna testify on his own behalf, he need to testify and confess and get charged with threatening that man and his child. Now I'm not sure if he the one that shot at that man's house or not, but I know that he done threatened Jim and his daughter before. And Jim had on that blue, but I'm gonna find the news footage where he spoke about it, where when he did mention it. And I think that's out of line. McDavid needs to be sat down in several seats behind and not never ever be allowed to get up again, because he getting on my nerves at this point. That's all I wanted to say, honey. And I'm praying for Jim's safety. Yeah, McDavid on stuck on that mess. That dope still in his system. That R. Kelly dope.
Oh shit. Well, thank you for that. And you're saying that it's in the book, so you don't really have to. I guess don't need to find the
Oh,
article. But
oh. Yeah, I
yeah,
remember
but
him. He was sitting
I
up
don't
there.
remember hearing that though. I don't remember. When I read the book, to be very honest, it was right before he was coming on. I was trying to finish it, and I
Oh,
probably bad read through a lot of stuff.
yeah. I was just, I just thought that was a shame that Jim, I mean, not Jim, that, oh, Lord, McDavid and the rest of his, the octopus crew was taking things too far. And it just all boils down to they're upset that this raggedy son of a bee that got caught and he got put to an end. That's what it all resorts to. Y'all mad that he can't keep this charade, this disgusting sick enterprise going. Because if they was allowed to still get away with this, we don't know how many other victims it'll be added to this body count.
Right. Yeah, they mad. That was what I was gonna say next. Is so who's mad about Jim not wanting to testify? It seemed like a lot of people were mad based on some things I saw on social media, and I don't understand why they are like, get your fat ass on the stand. We
They
need you
don't
to.
want to get Jim on that stand, honey. They need to leave Jim alone. If they know, like I know, they better leave well enough alone. Because Jim
You would
been
think,
working with the feds, and he know more than a little bit, honey. That's without a shot of a doubt and proof that they're gonna be more guilty of some other things. They're gonna accumulate some more indictments messing with Jim. Hmm.
yeah, it's definitely in their best interest to leave Jim out of it, especially since it seemed that McDavid and him have had confidential communications thus far. So McDavid,
Right.
he's going to be testifying. So, like I said earlier, is he going to be dragging Jim more into it at this point? It's a damn soap opera, and it just gets more and more interesting. To be very
And
honest, it's quite interesting and
I'm
entertaining.
I'm sure that Jim Derogatis got everything taped, recorded, wired, and tapped, and some more stuff, which is good.
All right. Well, I was going to. So let me get what she sent me a video. I'm gonna have to kick y'all down while I play the video.
Sure.
I don't have the feedback.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I'm going to play this clip. If I get feedback, you got to hop down, ma'am. Y'all
Okay.
let me know in the chat, y'all, or you let me know, or you'll hear it too, I guess. I think this is it. Yeah. Okay, let me pause this music.
Good afternoon, everybody. lovely way to spend a Saturday afternoon, right? So we're very happy with the bond that the judge set. I think it's fair and reasonable given the allegations. We hope that Mr. Kelly's able to get the money together and post bond sometime today or over the weekend, and he'll be released. We're going to see the chief judge on Monday. For those of you out of town, the way cases work here is you go to bond court, then the case is assigned to the chief judge, which is actually the room just over there, and he then assigns the case to a trial courtroom upstairs in this building in our courthouse, which was actually built for Al Capone when he was charged years ago. In any event, so we'll get our judge on Monday. After we get assigned to a judge, we'll get what they call discovery, copies of police reports, video if it exists, lab reports, and so forth. Might happen Monday. Sometimes it takes a little while to get that stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry. You gave me a timestamp
to get that information. And then we'll be in.
I had zoned out. What was the timestamp again? 8 minutes and 8 minutes something.
Like 8:47.
All right, I'm gonna just go to like 8:30. My bad. I had zoned out too. It's been a long day already. Hey, here we go.
Then she showed him a state ID. She was here today.
Oh wait, it's a little before that. So he's off camera. Cause does he come on camera? Do you know? Cause there's
no, he don't
there's
come on camera.
There's another one where he's on camera, but I think it's a different one because they're outside. But okay, let me just see.
About how old he was.
Showed him the ID, the fake ID, then showed him the real. Quote a victim, Mr. Greenberg. Don't misquote a victim. That's not what she said. Well, she initially lied to him. Then she showed him a state ID. She was here today. You see her in tears while the charges were read.
So you have a book coming out, and
Yeah,
I hope you sell lots of books.
He said it's got facts in it. Let him know, Jim. Book has facts in it. Oh my God. Get me all riled up.
Books.
I don't give a fuck about selling a single book. I've talked to that woman.
I don't give a fuck, excuse my language, about selling a single goddamn book. Okay?
And I've talked to 47
What else is
others.
your question?
I'm not Mr. Abnati, and I'm not you.
Jim! Now we got to get him on now because I'm about to go. I got to talk to him about this. He said, I'm not Avenatti and I'm not you.
Oh, rewind it back a little bit.
You have a book coming out.
Wait, let me go back a little bit. This is great.
Well, she initially lied to him. Then she showed him a state ID. She was here today. Did you see her in tears while the charges were read?
So
was that Geronda he's talking about?
I don't know who was there and crying. That was like 3 years ago. Keep going.
Well, yeah, because he said she had a state ID.
Okay.
She lied at first. She lied at first, but she had a state ID that she showed afterwards. And he said she left in tears. Like Greenberg gives a damn.
So you have a book coming out. And
Yeah, it's
I
got
hope
facts in it.
I hope you sell lots of books.
I don't give a fuck about selling a single book. I've talked to that woman, and I've talked to 47
What else is your
others.
question?
48 women.
I'm not you.
Okay, so let's try and keep it professional.
I want to play that again.
Tears while the charges were read.
So you have a book coming out, and
Yeah, it's
I
got
hope
facts in it.
I hope you sell lots of books.
I don't give a fuck about selling a single book. I've talked to that woman, and I've talked to 47
What else is
others.
your question?
I'm not Mr. Abnati, and I'm not you.
Okay, so let's try and keep it professional. And don't swear at me.
Cried in court a liar.
Well, just because they cried doesn't make them truthful. So we're going to look at the evidence, okay? We'll look at the
I
evidence.
was correct
And
in the
we'll-
record what you
We'll
said.
look
She
at the
admitted
evidence.
when
Let's
she
keep
lied. She
it.
admitted
Let's
when she
watch.
told
Let's
truth.
watch the swearing, okay?
I didn't.
What an asshole.
You're upset.
His behavior as being legal or not criminal. You also defend his character. What do you have to say about our colleague?
Well, if these allegations are proven to not be true, and these were consensual encounters, certainly the encounters on some of their charges, then we shouldn't be second guessing someone's sex life. I mean, frankly, there's been a lot of talk about how he has these hostages in his house. They were here in court today, these two young ladies. They were with them yesterday, walking in front of the media. The police have been by to see them. The police have interviewed them. They interviewed them in Atlanta. They interviewed them in Chicago. They didn't say they were hostages at all, but people keep saying these people are hostages. We're going to wait. We're going to see what the evidence is. He's entitled to a presumption of innocence. We'll evaluate all the evidence. I'm sure we'll have some conversations with the prosecutors, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do. I can't tell you today what our defense is going to be, what we're going.
And I'm going to stop him there because guess what, bitch? He got convicted, sentenced to 30 years, and he's about to face another ton of years also. We are here. So is that all the Jim was on this particular video, ma'am? Oh, she ain't even here. How you going to leave me like that? Fast forward. Oh, exactly. Exactly. Fast forward 30 years, more time coming. Okay, so moving on. Shout out to Jim, though, for sure. Definitely okay, got you. It was echoing. Thank you. Okay, so definitely a hero in this and all of the cases. Like I said yesterday, it ain't Jim's fault somebody dropped that tape to him. It ain't Jim's fault. He's a good guy and he went to the police, okay? That tape could have landed in anybody's hands, and it could have landed in Charles Freeman's hands. It could have landed in, hell, it could have landed in anybody's hands in Chicago and never made it to the police, okay? So we need to definitely hold Jim, I would say, in some type of a role, accountability role, for getting this stuff to this point. Miss Della's back. Hello.
And yeah, so I think we've discovered where the issue is, because as soon as you start, like, you rewind it and start playing it again, it started echoing, and then I jumped off and went to another iPad, and it was crystal clear.
Okay. Well noted. So yeah, hashtag don't blame Jim. Hashtag it ain't Jim's fault. Don't be mad at Jim because Jim is who he is.
He don't give a fuck about the book.
He said, all facts. My book is all facts. 47 women, girls, now women, and the one that just left here crying too. 48 women he interviewed. Okay.
And it's terrible because Greenberg is unbothered. I mean, and this going back to his old videos, because he did say, I watched Surviving R. Kelly, and it was just a lot of dramatic lies. And I mean, come on now. You don't have no sympathy whatsoever. No, you think it's okay. And then it's funny because he says, it's supposed to be taped. If a tape does exist, oh, lovely. Fast forward to today. Look where we at now.
Queen, I hope you are now more clear on why he doesn't want to testify. So basically, as a journalist, he could be risking his sources. You don't want to do that. Also, apparently, there's conversations between he and McDavid that he wants protected. He wants McDavid to sign a waiver if he is made to testify, to say that you're not going to say one word, and I'm not going to be obligated to, about any of the conversations that we've had. So, and that actually is just so intriguing to me. Like, what the hell did McDavid tell you? And some of those things might have been threats, I know Greenberg's face, man.
I know he looked scared. Can we watch the language? Shut your ass up.
He got a face you want to smack. I mean, he just, with that little eye roll he did, he's so condescending. He's something, you know what I'm saying? So what? You're a lawyer. You barely got to your law degree, first of all. You barely got it. You look like, I think somebody put in the chat recently, he looked like he cheated on his law exam.
They love the fame. And and every time something happens, they interview him. Yeah, I'm still representing him in the other trial. I mean, it's the same thing.
He's still saying it today. Yeah, he said it recently. He said the state trial. And he can only get away with that because the state trial is technically on ice right now. So there's been no movement, and there probably won't be, especially, until this trial. And even after that, we don't know what's going to happen. If he was smart, I mean, who doesn't take a plea deal after you done already got 30 years? Like,
Because he thinks that he's innocent.
he thinks he's
And then,
innocent, or he's trying to
yes,
prove something, a
you
lie.
know, so in his mind, so and something else Greenberg said too, it is all consensual. Really? So did he convince them to say, look, I did sleep with young people, but it was consensual? I mean, that's exactly what Greenberg is saying. You just heard Jim. I think I was saying what, 24. Jim said 48. Not only that, if you know you didn't do anything wrong, why in the hell did you pay all those settlements out? You ain't gonna
Exactly.
just pay settlements out for no. Or I'm sorry, the P-Hive would say, well, he didn't want his record tarnished. He didn't want nothing bad out there by him, so he just paid them off and made them go away. You got an excuse for every little thing that comes out. That's not an excuse. Admit it. Live with it. It's something. Come on now.
Do you
A
remember the clip I showed
37,
yesterday?
huh?
Do you remember the clip I showed yesterday that said he's the worst? Like, and had just all these little clips of different things, Aaliyah. Well, on there, he said that he feels he's better off paying these people because it's more damaging if he doesn't, even if he's innocent. This is what he said.
Exactly. That's not gonna work. That's
No.
not gonna work. That's why your ass was convicted. That's not gonna work. You got a problem. Admit to it.
So so she's saying he should go for the prosecution. He doesn't have, first of all, he's not even really attached to the case. He shouldn't even be testifying at all. The fact that he got subpoenaed is because that motion got denied. So they figured, well, since we can't get him through the motion, which they feel like he's a part of the chain of custody for video one, they can't get video one blocked by motion. So instead, they're going to try to impeach Jim, who's supposedly the initial contact for the videotape and the one who gave the videotape to the police. Okay, so he at this point is public enemy number one. We need to get him impeached somehow, which I don't know how they think they're going to impeach some Jim. Okay, I don't see how. Jim is not crossable. Wayne Mazik, welcome. He said, what about your boy Avenatti, chief extortionist? Well, he ain't my boy, but it would be interesting if he ended up on the stand, though. Even, I think he can he, even though he's locked up? He just said it was him on the tape on the interview with yeah, he said it was him on the tape on the interview with a minor. Yeah, Michael Jackson paid. Well, Jack Palladino was the investigator / muscle who worked with the victim who extorted Michael. Jack Palladino, baby. His name has come up so much during this trial, and it is really what McDavid has been hanging on for his own defense. But he got murdered last year. Let's not forget. Welcome back.
Hey, Goddess, I had a question. They
Yes, ma'am.
subpoenaed Jim Derogatis about the first tape, but originally I found the interview where Jim said the first tape, original tape that he got received was not of RL. It was of another young girl that it took the feds a few years to even identify who she was because she was unconscious in this video. He said that video was 26 minutes and some seconds. He said the second tape he received was of RL. So how can he be subpoenaed of the first tape, or they considering the first tape with our L in it that he received?
I don't know, but you reminded me. I want to read this other article I have because it
Okay.
was actually it was from the archives of the Chicago Sun-Times, and it was actually published. I believe this was the first article published exposing
Mhm.
him on the sex tape, on the child porn tape.
Okay.
It has some things in here I hadn't, I say I ain't heard stuff, but honestly, it's just that I forgot. I have a lot. I have so much in my mind, and plus, I'm also in outer space, so it's hard to stay in. With all this information, it just floats away. But listen, so it says city police investigate R&B singer R. Kelly and sex tape. Now, this was first published February 8th, 2002. It says a 26-minute, 39-second videotape, which was sent anonymously to the Sun-Times last week, shows the singer-songwriter performing various sex acts with the underage girl. Now, this was written by Jim Derogatis and Abden Bosch. I think that's how you say that. All right. They say this picture they're using, there's a picture up here, is not the original picture they were using. Chicago police are investigating whether R&B superstar R. Kelly, part of today's opening act at the Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City, had sex with an underage girl and videotaped the illegal act. So this came out the day he was going to perform at the Winter Olympics. Interesting. A 26-minute, 39-second videotape, which was sent anonymously to the Sun-Times last week, shows the singer-songwriter performing various sex acts with the underage girl. Kelly was the halftime act at Soldier Field during the Bears-Eagles game about 3 weeks ago, singing the world's greatest single from the recent movie Ali. And so he's on top of his game, baby. He's performing at the Olympics. Prior to that, he's doing, he's at Soldier Field during the Bears-Eagles game. His movie, his song, The World's Greatest, was in the movie Ali. He's all on top of his game at this point. And then this stuff is coming out. So how desperate was he to prevent this from happening? This is actually where we're at as far as this trial. This trial was, the previous trial, 2008, was corrupted and obstructed because they didn't want this article to ever hit the streets. This was the fear.
Wow.
More of the fear was that the landfarers would have had actual quotes in this article. And he accomplished the fact, that didn't happen by hiding them out and threatening them, probably beating up that dad, like we heard. It says allegations of sex with underage girls have dogged Kelly throughout his career, including his brief marriage to his then 15-year-old protege, Aaliyah, who died in a plane crash in August. So at this point, her passing had recently happened, right before this tape is exposed. The girl in the video, now 17, was identified by her aunt, who said that her niece would have been 14 at the time the tape was made, based on her appearance. Kelly can also be heard on the tape referring to the girl by her first name. See, now that I don't remember hearing in court or reading in the testimony. So is this a different tape? This first tape, just like you're asking. So it sounds like, because this tape, they say she was being referred to by her first name.
Okay. Yes. Dang. By her first name. Oh, I don't remember about that part.
No, because the only thing we've been being told of that's being said is the 14-year-old body part.
Yeah.
So is this the tape that, okay, well, let's keep reading here. It says the names of the girl and her aunt are being withheld by the Sun-Times to protect the family's privacy, although they are known to police. And we today know that Sparkle, the aunt, Stephanie Edwards Sparkle, the singer, and the victim Jane in the trial, or RL as sometimes she's referred to by. Chicago police first began investigating allegations about Kelly and the girl 3 years ago. 3 years ago. Okay, so this, let me go back up because I need to see this data. See how fast I forgot? Okay, so 2002. So 3 years ago, 1999. Okay, so they started to investigate in 1999, according to this article. At the time, both the girl and her parents denied that she was having sex with Kelly. Without hard evidence or eyewitness testimony, police and prosecutors were unable to press charges. Now with the video, authorities tell the Sun-Times they are more optimistic about building a case against Kelly. So without that video, there would be no case. Or there would have been no case in 2008, eventually when we finally got to a trial. Illinois state statute prohibits adult men from having sex with girls under 17. It is a felony to videotape a sexual act with anyone under 18, prosecutor said. Kelly's attorney, John M. Toohey, see, this is attorney, I hadn't heard his name, or I didn't remember his name before. At this time, the attorney was John M. Toohey. He said the video is a forgery. He said any tape you have is fake, and we find the timing of these events to be extremely suspicious. Of the ongoing investigation, the attorney said, I would imagine that the police will do their job, which is what we pay them to do, right? He didn't say that part. A professional video maker told the Sun-Times, now listen to this. A professional video maker told the Sun-Times, the chances of fabricating a phony video that goes on for that long with Kelly's image and voice are, quote, slim to none. 26 minutes of putting someone else's head on someone's body. You're talking about hundreds of thousands of hours of frame by frame manipulation to make that work. So now, mind you, this was back then. So, but still, like, nobody's doing that. It says, born and raised on the South Side, Robert S. Kelly, 35. So he was 35 at the time. Wow. Here we are 20 years later. Is the most successful R&B performer from Chicago in the last 30 years. There's that 30-year reference. Wow. He has sold more than 20 million albums. He has scored a massive worldwide hit with the anthemic 1997 single, I Believe I Can Fly. According to the court records and interviews first published in a Sun-Times expose in December 2000, Kelly has repeatedly used his fame, wealth, and influence as a pop superstar to meet teenage girls and have sex with them. Boom, right there. And they actually show a picture of the initial article, which is it's a paper, actual newspaper. So I guess they had to take a picture. And that's crazy. It says city police investigate R&B singer and sex tape. Kelly has twice been sued by Chicago women who claim they suffered personal injuries and severe emotional harm because of their relationships with him. Tiffany Hawkins, of course, sued Kelly for $10 million in late 1996, charging he convinced her to drop out of school and have sex with him when she was 15, and that he encouraged her to participate in group sex with him and other underage girls. And we know all about that. To see these women grown now with children and families and things, and know that they have had years of trauma, just shame, and in many cases, hard times. And of course, none of them fulfilled the dreams they were aspiring to at that time. It says Kelly met Hawkins when she was back to his, when he went back to his alma mater. So he went back to do what he do, back to the old Kenwood Academy in Hyde Park to speak to the school. He went to speak to this choir. Okay, these are choir girls we're talking about. Young, innocent choir girls. The girl was a freshman at the school when they met. Imagine being a freshman in high school and you meet an R. Kelly. And next thing you know, you are being exposed to, I don't know if he had herpes at that time, but I'll just say just disease D, and introduced to orgies with other girls, or trains being run on you, all kinds of stuff, being urinated on, having feces probably smeared on you, all kinds of stuff at freshman in high school.
Right.
How does your mentality grow healthily into womanhood with that hanging over you? You need some serious help. And of course, definitely spiritual base.
Yeah.
It says sources said the Hawkins suit was settled for $250,000 in January 1998. Shortly after Hawkins gave a 7-hour deposition in the case, 7 hours of grilling. Yeah. And she still got $250,000. Wonder what was said in those 7 hours.
Man.
Go ahead and have them settle at the end of it for $250,000. The Sun-Times spoke to a friend of Hawkins who confirmed Hawkins' charges and said Kelly had sex with them together when both choir girls were underage. So the friend of Hawkins also abused. Even as the Sun Times was writing about these allegations, the singer was continuing an illicit relationship with a 17-year-old, according to a civil suit filed in Cook County Court in August. It says, during my relationship with Robert Kelly, I lost my virginity to him. Tracy Sampson said in her suit, I was lied to him. I was coerced into receiving oral sex from a girl I did not want to have sex with. I was often treated as his personal sex object and cast aside. He would tell me to come to his studio and have sex with him and tell me to go. He often tried to control every aspect of my life, including who I would see and where I would go. Now, there are people who would hear this and they will say, why did you go back? Why did you subject yourself to it if you knew it was, harmful to you? Remember, how old was she?
17.
Okay. We are
Yep,
talking about undeveloped minds, easily influenced.
exactly.
Remember, this was too at the top of game for him, where he's really powerful in the business, which branches out into the world at the end of the day.
Let's not forget he was giving them all alcohol and drugs.
That too, using them to lure their other friends in,
Yep.
a spider in his web, or a Pied Piper.
Mm.
So let's see. Sampson's lawsuit was filed in August by the same attorney who represented Hawkins, Susan E. Loggins.
There we
Here she
go.
is. Sampson, an aspiring rapper who goes by the name Royalty, graduated high school at age 16 and enrolled at Columbia College. So Tracy Sampson wasn't no slouch. She
Right.
graduated high school at 16 years old, just like Tracy, actually. But she went ahead and enrolled in Columbia College. She was an aspiring rapper. You know what I'm saying? She had her whole life ahead of her, a whole world of dreams she wanted to see happen for herself. It says in April 2000,
Exactly.
yep, Sampson in April 2000 became an intern. Oh, this is Sampson. Oh, my bad. I said just like her. Okay.
It's
In
okay.
April 2000, Sampson became an intern at Epic Records. A month later, she met Kelly and begun having sex with him at a recording studio that he partially owns, Chicago Tracks. And they give the address. Kelly brought the girl with him to Atlanta, Florida, and other places to continue the affair, the suit charges. Sampson's lawyer offers hotel phone records to back up the claim. So there are hotel phone records that were on record from the lawsuit. It says even though the girl was 17, the fact that Kelly was in quote a position of authority end quote over her makes the relationship illegal. So that's that's a thing. So you can't even if the statute is 17 but she's 18 but you are in a position of influence and authority, it's illegal for you to be in this type of position with her or him.
Hmm.
Susan Loggins, I wonder, did she at some point should have been made to turn over all of her files?
Exactly. Now, why they subpoenaing her? Oh, McDavid must be. I don't understand that.
Yeah, McDavid, why aren't you calling Loggins up to the stand since you want to call people
Right.
to the stand? She's more relevant than
Yeah.
Derogatis.
Hmm. Sure, make you wonder why, baby.
He says, since the first story about Kelly ran a year ago, we have been contacted by other women, Loggins said. Other women have come forward who have wanted to provide factual support to our clients. Kelly has denied having sex with Sampson in court papers filed in response to her suit, but they settle, right? In 1994, Kelly illegally married Aaliyah when she was 15, shortly after producing her debut album, AJ Nothing But a Number. The marriage was quickly annulled, as we know. She died of a plane crash last August. It says in 1996, he married a 22-year-old dancer from his touring troupe. The couple had 2 children and maintained several homes in Chicago, including the location where the aunt said the videotape was made, a wood-paneled sauna room in one of his apartments. And isn't it interesting that very room at wood-paneled sauna is a part of the discovery for this very trial?
And speaking of the homes and rooms and stuff, that one article that you found that you emailed me with the two homes in Atlanta. One was a 4-bedroom home. One was a 23
Yeah,
room.
that's gonna be on another live. But yeah, go ahead.
McDavid was an installing Bob the Builder ass, honey.
What do you mean, McDavid? So you're saying he installed the
Because
cameras?
McDavid allegedly took theater at Kenwood Academy, and he was the one that knew how to install all the cameras in the ceilings and the walls and shit. Excuse my
Really?
language. And that's how he had a lot of the footage, as well as putting together a camera. I guess a camera installing crew. But I gotta remember where I read that at. I don't know if it was the Blast Daily Beast, but yeah, McDavid was installing. He was an installing son of a bee.
But why would he want to? I mean, unless he's doing it for just to have cameras in general, like in his mind, maybe to protect his client. But because I'm thinking he would not want to install cameras for what happened. Like it doesn't make any
Well,
sense.
one of the victims testified, even RL in the Chicago trial, this current trial. She said that stem cells and McDavid sometimes would be the one setting up the tripods and filming the act sometimes, like they were there.
She said that in this testimony because I don't know why that doesn't
Yeah,
stand out.
it was
Okay,
this
well I have the
testimony.
transcript. I can go back and look. Um. Okay, so it says Kelly told Sampson's lawyer in October that he now lives in Olympia Fields. After the Sun Times story ran in December 2000, another videotape was anonymously sent to the newspaper. So this is a second tape. It appeared to show Kelly having sex with a different woman whose age and identity have not been determined. Police also have investigated that videotape. And that would be Lisa Van Allen, right? The one with her on there? Or because they're trying to say that the other woman on the tape is actually his wife, Andrea.
Oh,
Going with it says in both
wow.
videotapes, Kelly appears to be very conscious of the camera, looking at it and adjusting the angle several times. In the most recent tape, the underage girl refers to Kelly as daddy while they have sex. The sex acts include intercourse, fellatio, and urination. A television show plays new release music videos, including Let's Have a Party Tonight by the Backstreet Boys and Too Much by the Spice Girls, which were hits in the late 1998, early 1999. That would have made the girl 14 at the time. An advertisement can be heard for the Money Store, which closed in 2000. So Derogatis and his partner here who wrote this article made sure to put other evidence of the time frame because of what was in the background of the video. The two songs noted here, the Backstreet Boys and this other song by the Spice Girls, and this commercial for this store that closed in early 2000. That's like so smart.
Yeah.
It is not clear for whom Kelly would have made the tapes. It says made it for himself. It says asked if Kelly is aware of any videotapes of him having sexual relations with women. His lawyer said, I don't think it's any of your business. The lawyer also declined an invitation to view the tape. So he wants to fight hard and challenge the authenticity of the tape, but he refuses to watch it because he knows that he's going to see his client on that tape.
Exactly.
Of course, they wrap this up by saying Kelly is hardly the first celebrity to be accused of taking advantage of young girls. Gary Glitter, Rob Lowe, Elvis Presley, Jerry Lee Lewis, Roman Polanski, Rolling Stone, Bill Wyman, and even the legendary Errol Flynn have been written about in this paper and others for allegedly having trysts with minors. Kelly's spokespeople have denied that the singer had sexual relations. Of course, we know that. They point to his record of philanthropy in the community. Are you kidding me? And discredit allegations against him as an unwelcome byproduct of his wealth and celebrity. Says this is what his people said. His lawyer said, Mr. Kelly is at the top of his career. He has a hit song out right now. He's performed at the NFC title game and he's performing at the Olympics. In light of those events, I believe you have to have serious questions in your mind about the motives of people who sent you that forged tape. So that's how, this thing ends. But yeah, so much went on from before the investigation started in 1999, because the lawsuit started in 1996, according to this article at least. So we'll just say 1995, mid 1990s. He's dealing with so much pressure, and it never stopped for him. They put
Right.
that trial off for 6 years
Yeah.
so he could confiscate the tapes and clean his name up and get Freeman and whoever else to help him try to go get them tapes.
Right. See, McDavid can't say that he didn't know what was on the tapes and stuff when he got proven in court that he was having meetings in the ice cream parlor room talking about the sex production tapes with the girls and stuff, and sending Freeman and other police officers to go recruit all these damn tapes. He ain't gonna do nothing but make his case worse while he up here so eager to get on that witness stand. I just can't wait to see it all backfire on him with his arrogance. I just can't wait. And I hope he know he gonna tack on some more charges for R. Kelly too as well while he's doing this BS. And I hope R. Kelly Bone Jean Paw Patrol girl
From
is
the
ready.
Boondocks.
Well, Boondocks, Miss Boondocks need to be ready for these new charges too, because he so see McDavid didn't want no speedy trial for nothing. He didn't want them to keep digging and digging and digging because he guilty too. If R. Kelly got his own brother on tape and everybody else on tape, McDavid and Stem Cells on tape as well. I believe when they said that they had to set up the cameras, they were there sometimes filming too for R. Kelly. So they can't say they know about him having sex with no little girl.
As R. Kelly world turns.
So hold on for a second. What was that last part again, Kim? You're saying that McDavid and them are setting up the cameras for R. Kelly filming the children?
Sometimes that RL and I want to say Lisa Van Allen also testified because she said about how they all had gym bags of tapes, not just R. Kelly would carry a bag full of tapes. Stem Cell and McDavid would have gym bags full of tapes too, because in the Kansas City hotel, a tape was spilling out of the bag that Stem Cells was carrying. But I remember when RL testified in this trial, she said that McDavid and sometimes Milton Brown would set up the tripod and the cameras, or if not, actually be there filming the sex acts that R. Kelly was having with her, other girls, and as well as Drea and Lisa Van Allen.
And that's in
So
the transcripts?
that's what we covered in the
I don't
that
remember
is
that part. I know
it was
that they covered. I know that they carried the bags for him. So basically, when he first started out, he probably started out, 2, 3 tapes. Then it turned to 5, 10, then 20, 30, and it got too much for him to carry. They just carry in the bags for him. I do know that they say he always carry those tapes around for him. But I cannot see them setting up a tripod, doing sex acts for them, knowing that they can be indicted for that. He don't want nobody to know what he's doing. So there you go. That's just my opinion of it.
Well, I mean, if it was in the testimony, it's in the transcripts, which we have. So I don't remember seeing that either.
I'll go look back because I know she said that she was taught how to put up the tripod as well. Lisa Van Allen testified that he showed them
Mhm.
how to do it too.
I haven't read
If
her
not,
testimony yet. And yeah, I haven't gotten to
okay.
Lisa Van Allen's testimony, but I did read Jane's testimony. Um, but yeah, so that's easily, we can see, because I am interested if that was said, to see, because I think I would have probably questioned that at the time too, like what? Because that's crazy. Now, if they did
Because
that,
if that was the case, why would Drea and them not be indicted? If they were there and she said her and Drea would set up the tripod sometimes and the cameras. Drea was a grown adult while that girl was a minor.
well, I mean, the case is about the obstruction. Uh, I don't
Yeah,
think,
that's true.
that's probably why, and he's the key guy
Because
in
there's a
this.
lot of things that I don't understand why certain people not indicted on when they were there. Even down to the grown women, the Mayweather sisters, knowing that this man was hiding a lot of those girls out from basically kidnapping and smuggling them in and off the Sprinter and stuff. And they knew that these girls was 15, 16, 17 years old. They didn't get indicted about nothing. Y'all help aid and assist with kidnapping a minor and holding them hostage. I just don't understand that. But maybe that's supposed to be charges later on down the line in the future. It's a lot of those people that I believe should be implicated in this damn trial or another trial, and they need to be held accountable. I just don't understand how all of them got these damn deals on the table and they ain't helped convict nobody. They didn't. They had all the proof to convict R. Kelly. What the hell did they turn over to the feds that was more damaging than what they already had that they didn't even get help from them? These people that want to cooperate with the feds until 2019 and 18. They've been had their case solid with R. Kelly before 2018.
Oh yeah, they've been on his ass.
That's what I don't understand. That's the part that get me irritated. I don't understand it. Cheryl Mack is number one. She was helping recruit little girls too, because we read where she brought her niece and her best friend and daughter and all of that mess going on while she want to act. And Deanna Copeland too, booking flights for underage girls, helping book hotel rooms for underage girls. They got conversations. We heard the transcripts with him and Cheryl Mack. She talking about so, oh, it's piss everywhere, daddy. Well, she was there witnessing him having sex with a minor, talking about that. That's why I don't understand why she wasn't arrested.
I mean, I think the idea of the immunity is to get actual enough evidence for using these people to get him, tied down. So I don't know exactly what they provided, but it sounds to me like
Yeah.
these people were key enough to be able to, help them, like I said, tie his ass down. They provided the ropes that they needed.
I
So
just hope they keep their eyes on them like how CPS do once they get in your business and they keep an eye on you for many years to see if you're gonna repeat any pedophilia like this bastard. Because if they did it once and was willing to be there part of the show and what he was into, they'll do it again with the next pedophile. They'll be with the next celebrity that's into this sick, twisted stuff. If they're not doing it in the privacy of their home, they might be doing it right now as we speak and got a dungeon or a basement somewhere, and they committing these filming and these acts with some other underage kids, and we just don't know about it yet. That's my biggest fear. These people been set free just so they could go find somebody else that's into the same sick. Because it seemed like to me these people enjoyed it. They worked for R. Kelly for over 20 years. They was into that stuff just as knee deep as he was.
I mean, you have to admit, if you can hang and do things, do someone's bidding who's doing stuff like that, you're just like them. You're nothing
Yep.
better, you know.
Because
So,
it wasn't even about the money no more. A lot of them wasn't even getting paid. They was just doing it out of the kindness of their sick their hearts. They was
well, a
hanging.
lot of
That's
them
how I
were
know
doing
they
it.
was into it.
Well, a lot of them were also doing it. Remember, we're talking about R. Kelly, so we can't dismiss the fact that his star power at the time really drew people in. That's like the whole point of the first witness that the prosecution brought on was from the Grammys to say, how big was this guy?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, people are definitely mesmerized by that star power.
That's
What's going
true.
on,
That's so
right?
true.
PD, the immunity has not backfired. I mean, these people are testifying, and that's the thing too. The jury is hopefully will understand that, like I've mentioned this more than once, but the fact that this is a very seedy situation with the obstruction and all that other stuff that happened to disrupt that 2008 case or trial, it it will require seedy people. There's only people who are going to do stuff like that are people who are going to be scum of the earth, and that's what we're dealing with on the stand. These are the witnesses. But the fact that they are getting the immunity based on their truth, they got to be telling the truth. Like if they're not, they need to go to prison. That's it. If he doesn't get a conviction based on these people's testimony, they need to go to prison because they didn't help. Does Robert still have him? Robert, you guys kill me calling him Robert. Does he still have employees? Because I'm quite sure he still has to pay that handler. that has joy. You know, that reminds me, I was listening to that Lady G person. She was
Oh,
bragging
I
that
can't
we got
stand
joy.
her.
We're with joy. We in Chicago. Ha ha ha. You guys, I'm in cahoots with R. Kelly. You just mad because you not. You know, I'm like, what the heck?
Yep,
She definitely
yep,
sounded like a hostage.
yeah. I can't. Oh, I wish I was there to beat her down with my bare hands, and she could take it how she want to. But I would punch her dead. I would. Oh my goodness. You talking about testing somebody's jawline? I would have tested everything, try to break every bone in her face, just on the strength that she makes me sick. Even if she is lying about being a handler for R. Kelly, just because of how you carrying yourself and how you trying to act like and insinuate. Because the way I cussed out in Choke's channel, she was talking in past tense like she knew Joyce and wasn't even here with us no more.
Oh gosh, don't say that.
That's how she was
We gotta
talking,
keep
and I
Joyce
told
in.
her,
Yeah, we gotta keep her in our prayers, y'all. For
yeah,
real.
because this is very strange. This don't sit well with me with Joyce Man. It's like she dropped off the face of the earth. Her family not saying anything like that, I don't know if
Well,
they
they don't
purposely
know
doing
anything. I mean, what are they gonna say? They don't know. Apparently, they don't know.
it. And
They,
yeah,
you know,
and that's what's so concerning. Because for a child to go this long, I don't care how old you are, you're gonna miss family, even if it's one family member at some point. And if you do have any kind of way to contact somebody or something, I just don't see how we ain't heard nothing from Joyce. At first, it used to be some
so
kind of
wait,
public
so
appearance.
Ashanti. So I'm not laughing at you, but it's just like you guys. So she's saying, why are family not talking to the judge? Asked the judge to ask R. Kelly to let her go. I guess is what you're saying. He's
Hmm.
still holding on to that girl. That's crazy. But you have to understand, there's no there's according to the law, there's no law being broken because she's of age. She's there willingly letting her tell it, and what is there to do? The judge doesn't have any. What is the judge going to do in this particular case? You can't make if you're
Like,
going to
there's
make
no
her
way
Kelly
to
do something,
do.
if you're going to make R. Kelly do something, make him confess to all this stuff and apologize.
But
Go ahead.
if they could do welfare checks on Debosky and all that, but they can't do a welfare check on their child, even if Debosky grown as hell.
Well, they've done several, and I don't know. They might have put a cap on that. Like, okay, how old is she now? She's what, mid-20s at this point?
I was in my mid 20s, and my parents had the police come to my house all the way from Detroit to Vegas to check on me because they didn't hear from me. They sure did. Matter of fact, I was well over in my 20s because I didn't move out here till I was 29. So I had to be
Well,
about 30, 31.
I guess my point is that they've done several, and it's been well publicized. You know what I'm saying? And I don't
But it's
see,
been years.
but she's grown too. So I don't know. And we don't know if they're not doing wellness checks. We don't know if they are or
Yeah,
they're
we
not.
don't. Yeah.
Easy Rider said, take a deep breath, beautiful spirit. But yeah, I want to get back to Jim because I wasn't supposed to be here this long actually. But yeah, Jim, we saw the interview with him yesterday and with the news, and he was expressing his disappointment with the prosecution. I remember talking about after the video, but I don't think we really touched on what he really said, which was they're not doing. He didn't feel that they were as strong as the New York prosecution. He feels like they're sloppy, and he feels like they should have had a video expert. So he's really, accusing them of just being lightweight when it comes to the prosecuting R. Kelly. Would you guys have any thoughts on that?
Um, I can't. I thought they delivery was good, but I guess he would know more in depth better than me. That they
I
probably
think
could have had a
I
stronger
can
point.
understand. I'm sorry. I can understand where he's coming from based on just the hearings I've heard. I think I've been on 2 calls, and they did
Hmm.
sound a little lazy. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no fire. I
Yeah,
just
I
felt
remember
like,
you said that, and I was
yeah,
thinking like we don't need them to get tired now. We need them upbeat and on point and sharp and very We need them to bring it. Like we need. I know they probably feel so exhausted and dragged out, but we needed them to keep that A game going because
Yeah.
we ain't got no time and room for no lackness. I was
And
kind of
remember,
disappointed that.
I was just gonna say, remember these are new prosecutors too. These are on this case because Angel Kroll was the lead initially, and she used to fire out those motions. I used to read her motions. As a matter of fact, one of these lives, I'm gonna pull up one of my first motions I had on camera, or the discovery. I think it was a discovery list for New York.
Mhm.
But Angel Kroll, I believe, who led the charge on this one, is she was doing a really good job. Now these ladies and gentlemen here, not to say they're not doing a good job. I think they're doing their job, but you know how there's people who do their job, there's people who do go above and beyond, there's people who
Mhm.
some people don't make the mark, so there's different levels, and I feel like they do their job, they're doing their job. um and like you said, Jim may know more because he's probably dealing with them behind the scenes, and he's
Mhm.
probably like, sounds like he's fed up a little bit. Maybe
Yeah,
he's
I
mad
probably
about,
expected better.
and he could be mad about being subpoenaed. Maybe he feels like they could have done something to prevent it.
Yeah, maybe something that he shouldn't have to do that they could have done that and all of that. But you know what? If that's I can see it from his side where he's coming from and what we just talked about. But see, that's where it comes in. That's a bad look, in my opinion, on Chicago as a whole. This is why I keep saying Chicago is setting out a bad example to a lot of other criminals in the world. The way they look as a whole, the whole justice system out there. I thought Detroit was bad. But honey, it looked like if you want to get away with pedophilia, if you want to get away with shooting and murders, come to Chicago. You want to get away with running brothels, come to Chicago. I mean, I just seen another news footage where it was clear as day, body cams, the sting bus, everything. And Kim Fox still gonna say she need more evidence and information just to even look at the prosecute these people that was doing human trafficking, sex trafficking, and they done got set free, no charge, no kind of in no kind of being prosecuted or nothing. This is what's been going on with. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. And I don't know why can't nobody over her step in and just say, you know what, you letting too many people go, getting away with all this mess. You won't even let them be seen in front of a judge because you're so busy. And I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. That's a bad look for Chicago. And that's probably why R. Kelly wanted to take it to trial there too. And he got excited and happy, clicking his no bottoms together. Talking, I'm gonna be back in my hometown. I know Chicago gonna have my back. I'm gonna get away with it again because out of all the states and cities, Chicago number one in my back pocket. That's why he was banking on that. That's exactly why he was excited and eager to get back home. Because he just know for sure Chicago gonna let a lot of shit slide.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Easy. So Easy Rider told me to go to Twitter. Just in, R.
Mm,
Kelly's R. Kelly's attorney is seeking to bar certain testimony tomorrow by his former business manager, Daryl McDavid. That could be prejudicial, including that McDavid took Kelly to, quote, get injections or other treatment to curb his sexual appetites. Oh my God, I was going to bring that up the other day about Jensen saying that he told him to get those
mm,
libido shots.
yeah.
So McDavid's going to testify that he took him to get them shots. Oh
Mm.
Lord. Let me read what is attached
And
here. It
so
says
our Kelly attorney wants to overturn it.
she's trying to block it. She's trying to block
Oh,
testimony.
she,
It says all testimony related to claims lodged formally or informally against Kelly for sexual misconduct or sexual harassment. Kelly's alleged relationships with any other women not named in the indictment or directly relevant to the instant charges. These are all the things they want to block him from doing or saying. All All matters related to the Florida criminal investigation regarding Kelly's alleged possession of child pornography charges that were dismissed after all evidence was suppressed. Oh my gosh. Any and all allegations, lawsuits, claims made by Kelly's employees against Kelly. Testimony related to McDavid taking Kelly to get injections or any treatment to curb his sexual appetite. And testimony related to any other medical diagnosis of Kelly. Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm with you guys down. They never answered the question, which I know they done got received the question. What happened to the tapes that they got in the first trial for Florida home? Did they give them back to them? What happened to that?
Right. Yeah, I don't. That's a good question. And the
Because it seemed like to
Johns
me,
Creek properties and the Johns Creek properties, the ones I think you were bringing up earlier. I have an article and also a video I want to show.
oh,
Probably on
okay, we got
the next
video.
slide. The video is of the house, but
Okay.
the article is the one that mentions that Johns Creek in Georgia did hand over a criminal file to Fulton County DA's office.
What?
All they did, and I
Oh,
confirmed this with Jim, was knock on the door. It was supposed to be a wellness check for Joycelyn, and
mm,
part of that is what Jim said he knew of, but he didn't know, like, because we don't know what was all in the file, but apparently that was part of it. But with regard to that, they said they just knocked on the door, nobody answered, and that was that. There was no follow up. And actually, I did follow up. Oh, I had someone I know actually follow up for me with Fulton County to find out if that information is available, public, and they said there is no information, case closed.
damn,
Yeah, don't
damn.
ask. So whatever was in that file, we probably never find out. And the stuff we're talking about here in Florida, this is what motions sometimes do. They tell us more than we knew initially because we didn't know nothing about all this stuff. But she had to put it in the
Yeah.
motion to present to the judge so that he can make a decision. I have a feeling the judge is going to let it all fly. As he should. But I believe I'm trying to see who has to respond to this. McDavid's people. Does McDavid's people respond to this, or I don't think the prosecution responds to this. See, this is where the mudslinging begins in the trial because
Yeah.
the defense team currently they're all together, all I say on the same ticket, but down to it, they're each for himself. One man,
Yeah.
each man is for himself, and Markelly's facing the most crime and the most time and the most charges. McDavid
Right.
seems to have been the most fierce and loud about his defense, especially
Yep.
being that he can get on the stand and the fact that he's filing for a speedy trial. Now, I am also still curious about what happened when he went to that funeral about a month or so ago, and they let him take off that monitor, the ankle monitor, and then he came back. They said he had a violation on the what is that, pretrial services violation, and they were submitting him for mental evaluations. So what happened, and what is that about?
Right.
That's what I want to know. And the fact that he's getting on the stand
Right.
after some type of breakdown,
Big
that's going to
David.
be interesting.
Big David. His ass is something else. I wish I could be a fly on the wall. Oh my God. I don't like him at all, but he is acting totally nuts.
Exactly.
The judge gonna let him test. The judge gonna let it fly because the judge probably wanna know what is this fool about to say. What is this idiot is about to say?
So, any last thoughts before I end this live?
No, I'm gonna go and research and make sure I'm correct on some of the things that I thought I remembered correctly. And be ready for the next live. And I just thank y'all. And again, God is not staying on top of this. And Jim gonna be okay. Once again, Jim, we love you. And I just can't wait to see all the updates. The news people ain't gonna be able to write fast enough to keep up with this, with these
Yeah,
defendants.
that's going to be tomorrow if McDavid's on the stand. All right. Well, thank you, Miss Della. Any
I'm
last words?
just looking forward to this week. I want this shit over with.
Oh, I did have a. Okay, I had like a Kim moment. I call it, y'all. I had a question. That is not. How fast do these sketchers have to be sketching to be getting everything in this courtroom? I've been looking at a lot of the photos. They have to be sketching kind of fast, don't they?
I mean, I think most of the people that have been on the stand they've been on for a minute. I think they probably are used to that type of pace. In order for that job to be qualified for that job, you probably have to be able to sketch very quickly.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Because
saying?
I was gonna shout out to the sketch artist. I can't wait to see
Yeah,
what
I'm
McDavid
not an
will look
artist, so
like.
I don't know. I honestly, that to me is a gift. I wish I could, I'm not
Yeah.
horrible, but I'm not no artist. But I would say that, yeah, they're doing a good job. One of them, to me, is way better than the other. I hate to say that, but one of them is really good.
Yeah.
Joel is asking, why did they cancel court today? They cited an operational issue. People, of course, have speculated, and people are trying to say it has to do with R. Kelly's court. But mind you, they closed the whole courthouse, not just his courtroom. So I don't know. Operational issue could be really anything. Could be
Well,
anything. There was another question. Oh, somebody asked if this is the last week of trial. I think Queen. This is week 4, and it's supposed to be the last week. Being that they've had a
yeah.
couple of delays, being that the holiday weekend gave us a day off, and then the operational issue closed the court. They're kind of behind, but the judge he's been real adamant about this 4-week deadline. The court is no longer available to him after this week, supposedly, unless something's changed. I don't know what they would do in this case. Have the people who are supposed to take over the court start in a new court, a different court until they get there, or have them move. I don't know. But I feel like too, they wouldn't have because I heard there was a judge, not Judge Lena Weaver, but a different judge who was working from home. He was doing court on his home phone. So
Okay.
I don't know. Lena Weaver didn't. It seems to me, with his tight schedule for this courtroom, there must be confidence that they can still wrap up by Friday. But I don't know, because that would also include, I think, the jury's decision, because they have to come back to the courthouse and all that. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this all goes. Maybe the other case that's coming into the court has to get postponed. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I just want to thank everyone for coming and hanging with us and coming back for these recaps. We will be back tomorrow for sure, God willing, of course. But I'm making sure that's all I got. Yeah, we just know too that Jim's motion that we read today is going to be argued in front of the court tomorrow at 9:45 a.m. Court trial starts at 10. So depending on what happens during that 15 minutes, the judge, may or may not have Jim testify. He might get off of the testifying, or he might not. Marcus Exara. Hey, King, thanks for coming in. Catch that replay. Anybody coming in late, catch the replay. We covered a lot of good stuff today. And while you're there, go ahead and comment. Let me know you stopped by. And that goes for y'all, because I swear, how many of y'all came in? 2 or 3 of y'all. And thank you so much for coming in my comments after this live. But I'm going to ask y'all, being that we're ending, come to the comments so I can get this algorithm kicked off. But I do
Yeah, I'm gonna
appreciate
put in a negative.
time.
I'm gonna put in a negative comment. Watch.
I'll deal with you later, ma'am. All right, y'all. I love
I
you.
love
Thank
y'all.
you, queens. Thank you, mods. Thank you, warriors in the chat, in the bushes. And until next time, bye.